Hello everyone, this is Uday and today we will go through a small presentation on theories of accounting, looking at why regulation is introduced in accounting. We will cover in brief the public interest theory, capture theory, and economic interest theory. So, before we move ahead, let me explain you what is a theory. Accounting theory is a set of assumptions and methodologies used in the study and application of financial reporting principles. The study of accounting theory involves a review of both historical foundation and practices, as well as the way in which accounting practices are changed and added to the regulatory framework that governs financial statement and financial reporting. All theories of accounting are bound by the conceptual framework of accounting. This framework is provided by the Financial Accounting Standard Board, such as IFRS, Financial Accounting Standard Board (FASB), Generally Accepted Accounting Principle (GAAP). These are few examples of the boards which works to outline and establish the key objectives of financial reporting by business, both public and private. Further, accounting theory can be thought of as the logical reasoning that helps evaluate and guide accounting practices. Accounting theory as regulatory standards evolve also help develop new accounting practices and procedures. While accounting procedures are formulaic in nature, accounting theory is more qualitative in that it is a guide of effective accounting and financial reporting. The most important aspect of accounting theory is usefulness, which in the corporate finance would mean that all financial statements should provide important information that can be used to make informed business decisions. This also means that the accounting theory is intentionally flexible so that it can provide effective financial information even when the legal environment changes. Now let's have a look at public interest theory. Public interest theory holds that regulation is applied in response to the demand of the public for the correction of inefficient or inequitable market practices. The main purpose of this theory is to benefit society as a whole, rather than to benefit particular vested interest. And the regulatory body is considered to present the interest of the society in which it operates rather than to provide interest of regulation. The enactment of legislation is considered to be a balancing act between the social benefit of the and the social cost of the regulation. This theory assumes that markets are extremely fragile and apt to operate very inefficiently or inequitably if left alone. The government is assumed to be a neutral arbiter. Let's move on to capture theory. Capture theory that argues that although regulation is often introduced to protect the public, regulatory mechanisms are often subsequently captured or controlled so as to protect the interest of a particular self-interest group in society, typically those most affected by the regulation. The theory clearly explains the main intention of designing regulation. The individuals to be affected by the regulation are directly involved in the formation of these regulations. Therefore, there is adequate representation of the politicians as well as the interest group since the regulations are drawn to their needs. The theory does not provide a significant difference from the public interest theory. The theory suggests that the public interest in is the beginning of regulation. This is similar suggestion presented by the public interest theory by J. Hartog in is article General Theory of Regulation. Capture theory does not explain clearly how an industry can subject an agency to its interest, but cannot resist its formation. Regulation can seem to favor the consumer rather than the industry. The industry under regulation are required to offer services beyond their capacity. Now let's have a look at economic interest theory. Economic interest theory that assumes that group will form to protect particular economic interests. Different groups, viewed as often being in conflict with each other, will lobby government to enact legislation that economically benefits them at the expense of others. The theory suggests that it is the industry which designs the regulations to be adopted in the market. The industry sets the regulation for the benefit of its members. It also operates these regulations and there are no external mechanism involved. The government allows the stakeholders in the industry to participate in decision making concerning economic matters that affect the sectors of the economy. The theory suggests that the representative group in the government decision making should be small in size so as to reduce the running cost. The theory suggests that producers can organize themselves more readily than consumers. It also suggests that the producers can easily regulate their activities faster compared to the consumers. The theory also suggests the phenomena of cross-subsidization. This is where regulations which have been put across benefit some group more than the others. The industry concerned is allowed to make its own rules and regulations. The role of the government is to enforce the regulations that have been designed by the industry. The government uses the regulations to achieve its national economic goals. For example, the government can grant subsidies to an industry so as to increase prices. The theory allows political decision making concerning the industry to be done by the industry instead of an individual. This helps reduce time, energy, and money. The industry should be involved in the governmental decision making in economic matters that affect the industry.